full health. You can give him the World Connect Slash. I don't care. It won't mean anything.
Sure. You want to start?
No.
Why?
You said why?
Yeah.
All right, I can.
Because
flip
I'd
the
literally
coin.
start in
What are we
almost
gonna
all
do?
of my debates. I need to be on the negation sometimes.
Oh my lord. Oh,
You
yeah,
want me to flip
okay.
the coin,
Yeah, I think
or are you willing to go
weaker.
first, Calamity?
I mean, I have to. He's just gonna refuse. So.
Why are you talking, bro? You're not the mod. Shush.
Nigga, I'm the only person willing to mod. You fucking dickhead. Now I'm just gonna let you get pervies, dumbass. Way to go, Goonie, and everyone else is
I don't want
distracted.
you as
retard.
the mod. I don't want you as the mod.
Bro, okay, bro. Fuck you then.
I could mod.
I didn't say you're not fair. I just don't want
Can
you.
I
as
mod?
the
Can I mod? Can I mod?
Hold
I'll
on.
mod. I'll mod.
Yeah, for sure. You cool, Fugi
Wait,
modding?
Calamity, who's your character?
I have true form
that is
Sukuna.
Sure, I'll let Fuki
True
mod
form
mine.
Sukuna, okay.
Are
Do
we
you
pinging
have
this or
access
not?
to debate things, Scooty, or no?
I
Give me a
don't
sec.
know.
But you're in
I
the
can
middle of the
do it.
game anyway. I'll just do it. I don't know who has who again.
Look in chat. I like responded with that.
Calamity has True Form Sukuna, full arsenal, full power. I have Black Flash into Gojo.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna copy this text, copy text, and then go to debate pings. See, everyone.
Okay, now you can't get up here.
Wait, what account are you on? You're on the alt. Okay, you're on the alt. All right.
Yeah, I'm on the alt.
Black Fast Jogo.
Gojo.
Black Fast.
Or
Black Fast.
Gojo. Excuse me.
Black Fast Jogo.
Black Flash Jogo.
You know, I am right there wrong. My bad, brothers. All right. That will go hard though. Jogo. I like when people skill him. He's like, I don't know. I've heard he's ass, but then some people tell me he's like good. Anyways,
He's kind of trash, but he wipes Shinjuku. Most people on there.
Nah, he's not trash. He's pretty calm.
y'all should run a Jogo topic. So all right. Anyways, all right. Let me see. Let me just
I could
one
probably
second.
argue like Hanami above Volume 0 Gojo, unironically, or like Jogo.
Real quick before I make this ping and we start, I just want to say, you know what I'm saying, thank you all for believing in me, especially Hasbin. This server wouldn't exist without Hasbin. He's the one that was like, yo, you should run a server again. And I was like thinking about it, and I was like, you know what, I could do that again. I just got to do it the right way and not be a dickhead this time. So shout out to Hasbin, and we all got to tip our hat to him for helping me make Jaya. I really like the server. I'm very proud of what we all accomplished. The server is honestly incredible.
Thank you, Mortified.
Wait, Fugi, whenever I comboing with overwhelming fire, it does some weird variation. How do I stop it?
You must be doing something wrong, bro, because it almost never does it. I don't even know how to do the variant where it's a guard break.
Yeah, the variant's the guard break, but I don't know how to stop doing it.
Me neither, man.
All right, you guys can start whenever you want. The pings.
Am I starting?
Yes, Calamity, you're starting.
Yeah.
Sure. I think just a weaker Sukuna is just above Gojo, I guess.
Above Black Flash and Gojo, which is my character?
I mean, you can talk about him being I don't think he's amped above his regular. I don't think you can prove he's amped above his regular base off. But you can get into that later, I guess.
You think the Black Flashes don't actually amp you, or what? What is your basis for saying that?
I mean, he had low output and stuff. He could really just make up the difference between them.
Yeah, but
I don't see him selling above his base form.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, but Gojo recovers his output at the end of the fight, though.
Yeah, with the Black Flash.
Yeah, I don't think his output is deteriorated at that point whatsoever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it just regenerated his output and stuff, then it would still be to this it would just be to his base self, and I think Sukuna just scales above that.
What? Why would it be to his base self? We'll prove that. What are you talking about?
What I'm saying, I'm just saying that I don't think you can ever justify Gojo's got some sort of
No, that's what you literally just said. But anyways,
that's
you can
not
pitch that. I can
Wait,
show you that on the recording. You literally just said that.
You can show it after, but we can get into Sukuna to Gojo if you want to, but
That's a really good thumbnail, actually. Quality's kind of shitty, but it looks cool. Let me just save that real quick because I like JJK stuff. Yeah, I mean, do you just think like that version of Gojo is at his regular self, or weaker than his full power self, or do you think he's above his regular self? Because I think he's above his regular self.
I don't see any reason why he'd be above his regular self. I think it could probably just like regenerate him like back to his base form because he's like already low output and stuff.
Because Black Flash is amp you because it gives you a better understanding of cursed energy, and he regained his reverse curse technique output, so therefore he should be fully healed. Because the six eyes literally gives you an infinite amount of cursed energy of which you can use pretty much, because the efficiency, like, it doesn't actually give you an infinite amount of cursed energy, but it's sort of like that because the efficiency is so precise that it's infinitesimally close to zero. So it's like mathematically impossible for Gojo to run out of cursed energy, no matter how much he uses.
I think that's. I don't think that's relevant, but if he can just like regenerate back to his base self, I think that's still fine. Like it can amp you, like, but he's already weakened. I don't see why the amp would make him like above his base self.
Well, no, Calamity. That's relevant because if he can't run out of cursed energy, then you can't say there's an issue of cursed energy lacking.
I'm saying his output is getting low and stuff. Like he can. I mean, it can be infinitely close to zero. Like he can. That's fine.
Why would his output be?
He can still like run infinitesimally close to zero. I guess. Like he literally just states his output is low.
Why would his output be slower? Why would his output be? I mean, he doesn't say that after he hits the second Black Flash, but why would his output be lowered when he has like his body fully healed? Why would it be lowered?
Wait, okay, I don't know if you're tracking, but I'm just saying that like before he got the Black Flashes, like he was nerfed, and then he got the Black Flashes with Jumpy. Like I don't see why this is like pumping him to like a beyond like regular base self.
Okay, because hitting the Black Flash allowed him to recover his reverse curse technique output, okay? And earlier in this debate, I told you that when you hit a Black Flash, you gain a better understanding of curse energy, which is why you become stronger after hitting a Black Flash.
Wait, why is that every time? Do you think, why can you like justify that? I mean, can you show me a scan for that, and then why is this like every single time? Somebody who's already hit like 6 Black Flashes, why do you think that they can like, there could just be like a limit to that?
Yeah, I mean, I can just explain. One, there's like a good evidential basis to say that you get amped every time you hit a Black Flash, at least based off of what we've seen. Secondarily,
I mean, in terms of knowledge,
in
terms of like gaining knowledge, because like they can get like they can like recover their.
Like, I'm arguing that they gain knowledge every single time. You were just contending that. What are you doing? What?
I'm literally, yeah. I mean, I asked you to show the scan, and you're saying that like they're like gaining knowledge and stuff from like hitting Black Flashes. And I ask you like, why do you think that like this is like every single time? Because like, I mean, unless you think Gojo's like hit.
Okay, I mean, I was literally
just making, like he could just like hit the limit of it.
I was just making a claim, like literally right there, that excuse me, that they get amped every time they hit a Black Flash. But I mean, one, there's a good evidential basis, so it would follow like the consistency within the data. Secondarily, if you're gonna say that there's gonna be a deviation, that's gonna be an additional assumption, so that's gonna be less quantitatively parsimonious. Thirdly, hold on, I'm almost done. I'm giving you my contentions. You can respond in just a second. Thirdly, if you're trying to say that there's an additional kind of thing of which would amp you from hitting a Black Flash beyond just the additional knowledge gained, unless you can actually show me some evidence or whatever, I doubt that you're going to give a good enough basis for why the explanatory power should be great enough to exceed the issue, that you would be once again worse on quantitative parsimony, and also qualitative parsimony as well, because you'd be assuming an additional kind of amp from the Black Flash, which is a new concept.
This is literally jargon. You're not justifying anything. Can you send your scans back?
I can explain my arguments. These aren't jargon. They're not hard to understand whatsoever. I literally told you exactly what it is.
Dude, like I don't care. Send your scans.
Like a scan for what specifically? That you gain the knowledge?
Just Black Flash amping, like the stuff to do with the Black Flash amping here.
There's multiple of it. Do you just want everything or what?
Yes, just send them. Just send all of them.
No, that's fine. I just want to know what you're talking about.
You just index, like they got stronger because they like gain a knowledge of it, and then I put into question like why can't like people who are like very knowledgeable just like hit a limit to it and you just never like respond to it in your ramble.
That's possible, but that would be probable given the other things of which I brought up. When you have additional commitments, your view becomes less likely. So even if I don't have any more commitments,
Can you
What
send
I'm
this
saying
down? Like,
is, what I'm saying is, if you're going to argue that there's a deviation in the data, if like that was a hypothetical like interpretation that you would take, the issue would be is that you're assuming that there's a, so that's going to be.
wait, you never justified anything. I don't. Why do you think that's a deviation? Like, it's if Black Flash harms people, it could literally
You know what
be
a
like
deviation is? That's what.
yeah,
That's a stupid
you're just,
question.
can you please send scans? Like, what are we doing?
I'll send you the first one. I'll send you another one in just a second.
Okay. For that, what you're justifying, I could literally just index all your evidence that people who like hit Black Flashes, you're like not necessarily that knowledgeable, can like gain more like knowledge from it. Like I don't know why it's index people who already like have like loads and loads of knowledge.
Well, because Yuji has already hit a Black Flash and he still receives amps even after several Black Flashes. So I'll just show you that.
Wait, I mean he can gain like
he.
I don't know why. I mean, even if these amps are there, I don't know why these are like relevant. I mean, even no wait for this gown. This is like Yuji's first Black Flash. This is Yuji's first Black Flash. It's just this gown you sent. Is it someone who like can't do like trash?
The second one, dude. The second one. No, you're not tracking the second one. The second one is not his second panel. The second page is not his first Black Flash. That's Shinjuku.
In Shinjuku, let me see this.
Yeah, so just so everyone's clear in case they joined like a second ago, I'm making the claim that if Calamity says that people who hit more and more Black Flashes getting stronger, their belief that it's predicated upon the idea that they gain more knowledge, so they apply their curse energy better. If he is to make the claim that the actual end results of people getting stronger is going to deviate and you're not always going to get stronger when you hit a Black Flash, then I think that's going to be assuming an additional mechanism. And it's also going to be assuming a deviation in the data, so it's going to be less quantitatively.
And you already said all this. Why are you rambling? Hey, you already said all this.
I just said it because of the people who kind of just joined. That was the problem.
Second scan justify.
The second scan justified? What did you just say? Speak up, please.
What does this justify?
It justifies that even after like several Black Flashes that Yuji has hit throughout the series, he's still receiving amps because Sukuna is saying, this brat, he's been chanting Black Flashes like it's nothing. Does he intend to climb up to my level? So he's saying that like he's rising in power. That's my interpretation of the statement.
That's fine. I don't think your interpretation is like it can like be not correct. Like this is like a freshly awakened Yuji. You can just be talking about him like gain, like he wasn't hitting like Black Flashes like out consistency before. Like he could just be gaining. He could just get like from that awakening. He just get abilities. So like he thinks he can climb up to his level. I don't think it's like I don't think like you can justify it like index due to Black Flashes. He can like still highlight the Black Flashes as like a product of his like awakening or whatever. That doesn't mean he's like getting stronger by the Black Flashes. Like what chapter is this? Oh,
this is from chapter. Let me see the number 257.
Let me read it for you. No, I already have it. Let me read it before.
Okay. Let me just anyways, sent it, but whatever.
I already got it, but yeah, I mean he's using this like shrine techniques and stuff. Like he's able to like gain Black Flash. Him just that he's able to like, use all the stuff.
I didn't make necessarily.
And say it was necessarily, but whatever. Do you want to respond to it?
You literally just said I don't necessarily think it follows this. That's what you said.
I mean, I don't think if we take away necessity and you want to stop being pedantic, then sure. Like I don't think what you're saying follows.
I mean, it's not pedantic because necessity claims and likely claims.
Okay, whatever it is. Like take away the necessity
arguments. It's relevant.
Okay, this is like cherry picking. I don't care. Like what?
It's not cherry picking. I think it's relevant. Anyway, so I'll just your point now. Sorry, what did you say?
Did you want to respond to the point now?
Yeah, I mean, your interpretation is possible. No one's going to deny that, but I think it's going to be inferior to my belief or whatever like alternate belief you want to use, because like my belief is better when we're talking about it in regards to the epistemic concern, the epistemic virtue of consistency. Okay, so given our knowledge of how consistency works, consistency affects consistent internally within a specific view. The specific view that he's specifically talking about, the Black Flash is amplifying Yuji Itadori here, would be more consistent with the facts because it is a fact that authors specifically would do a better job at communicating information to the reader, given that they communicate things through a more direct subject matter where they specifically add one piece of context and then they use the statement afterwards to refer to that context. So if it were to be an overall thing, if Yuji were to use like a shrine technique in the same panel or whatever, or if there were to be dialogue such as the shrine technique is amping him, does he intend to climb to my level, stuff like that, then that would be a much better job at communicating. Given that there's a lack of this thing, it actually raises the possibility and the likelihood of it actually being a miscommunication from the author, given that this would be the actual true interpretation. And obviously, authors intend not to miscommunicate things to the reader, so there would be an issue. How's that a question? But you didn't put my proposition into question.
I'll respond to something like what you're saying.
Anyways, more likely to be this. And I'm not done. Anyways, authors.
You literally just repeat yourself.
Yeah, regardless, authors would say it makes sense to interpret a story in a way in which it makes sense. And if this is a sensible thing, this is a sensible fact of the matter, then it would be considered within the author's intent, and the author's intent actually goes towards expressing the things within the story. So given that this is a thing that makes sense, it's likely that this is the author's intent here. Done. Anyways.
Okay, you're just assuming author's intent. Like what I'm saying, it's not like you can't justify.
I gave you a probability.
You're not actually justifying this, but for this, you can say it could be a better way of conveying it. That doesn't mean it's not conveyed. Like it's still the same message cannot be conveyed like less efficiently.
It can. I didn't say it can't. This is a
that's fine. I'm saying you're not actually justifying a point. Like you're saying, oh, it could be more efficient to display it this way, which I don't even see a reason for. But it could be more efficient to display this way on like this singular panel. Whenever like you're taking it like out of context, like the entire theme of him like using his awakening and like using shrine and stuff. Like I think he's already displayed what you. I think he's ready. If you want to keep over talking me, I'm gonna use moderation. But I could literally just you're taking this like one panel, like a whole sequence of him like using shrine and stuff like that to say that it's like the author's intent or it would be less efficient. But I think what you're saying is just like wrong. Like there's no actually like justifying author's intent or anything.
I mean,
like, you're
I don't
just
know
like
how you.
What we're both saying could just be like the same intent, like the whole sequence.
You took a long pause to flesh on if your speech. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. This whole like sequence could just be leading up to that statement or whatever, not just like the singular statement and like question. That could be the author's intent. Like what you're saying doesn't actually like justify any some sort of point.
Yeah, I mean, I ask you to prove that justification for one. For second, right? I know that I just took one specific panel and then I talked about how there isn't actually like a usage of the shrine technique in this panel. This page to be more specific, that's fine. If you want to talk about the other panels that actually show the shrine technique, this would be fine. But we could also just talk about the dialogue, and the dialogue is not actually showing anything explicit like the shrine technique, which would be more direct communication. And the previous point was on more communication being better than a lack of communication or inferior communication to actually like communicate points to the reader so that the reader is informed on what the author wants to say. And it's more likely to be the case that my argument is true. And the specific thing that's amping Yuji to in this case would be the Black Flash.
It's just repeating yourself, but for like the thing for proving justification, like
I know I was repeating myself, so you would understand what I'm saying.
Entire response. If you keep like being retarded, like I'm just gonna call for moderation, like just counter stuff. If it's like entire justification thing, I think that's not justification in response to where I explained it, but you can go back on Rex like get that justified. But saying you can communicate it differently here doesn't mean that what it's saying is not true. Like literally, like irrelevant. Like the point, like is literally just irrelevant. Like you're trying to argue that, like Gege has to write for like brain dead retards who have no context clues. Like he could be already displaying it through like the images and like this like the images of him like using shrine and stuff. Like he doesn't need to cater to
that's an element of my argument.
Need to like cater to
my argument. Yeah, I want you to prove that I want you to prove that me actually saying that the author should communicate it by talking about the shrine technique would actually just be like severe. Hold on, I wasn't done talking. It would be severe spoon feeding to the reader, and it would kind of like imply that not the spoon feeders, sorry, but the readers who I guess are the spoon feeders here are like so retarded that they actually need to be spoon fed. So I want you to like prove that that's like I want you to prove that you're I want you to prove that your interpretation.
Oh my, like This dude just never
I'm
stops
not.
speaking.
I'm not
You're
done.
repeating
You're
yourself.
not going to understand the burden. You're not going to understand the burden. Hold on. Stop.
Prove that that's him spoon feeding. Like you're just retarded. You're just gonna repeat yourself.
Not just that. There's another important thing. Sorry, I'm almost done. What I'm saying is, I need you to prove that your interpretation of the dialogue off of just these things is sufficient enough to where like a good majority or a decent population of the readers of Jujutsu Kaisen would be able to read it and then interpret it in the way that you're talking about, and that they likely would. Not that they just can, but that they likely would.
Yeah, I don't think I need to. Again, I really don't think that that burden's like relevant. But what was the question before
relevant
that?
because that was your contention towards my argument.
Before that, what did you ask?
Wait,
before
stop
that?
interrupting, guys.
What did you ask before that? Prove it's not the spoon-fed retards. I mean, you are kind of like the evidence yourself. Like you're the spoon-fed retard that like needs a set. Like, we already have visual indications.
What's the argument for that?
Okay. Here he like shows his like shrine techniques and like all this and that, and then we have a statement of him like climbing up to his level. Like I don't think it needs to be due to. I mean, the scan itself doesn't even say like due to black flashes or anything. Like it's literally just he keeps striking with black flash. Does he intend to climb up to his level? It's just him indexing him like striking black flashes to like him and like
prove it has nothing to do with black flashes. That's an insane burden. You're never going to be able to prove that.
Okay, can you like stop and start? I'm literally just going to like serving me myself. Who's even moderating? Cause like these
I'm moderating.
Wait, who is?
Fugi, mute me if I interrupt him again because he's complaining and I've been doing that too much.
Yeah, I was gonna say that when you were done.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I responded to everything, but I don't even. Yeah, I think I already like gave all my responses to this, but that's fine.
So did you actually like give some proof? Did you prove your burdens when we're talking about the things such as us actually having to do this thing, not even having, but likely needing to do, not likely needing, but likely having a much better method of communication? Through doing it in this manner isn't even really needed because if it's just done in the other manner in which we communicated, under your interpretation, we're striking the black flashes. Isn't even in reference to like black flash always amping you or the climbing to Sukuna's level always being due to the result of black flashes. I would like you to prove that. That's what I've asked you to do, and you have not done that already. Secondly, I want you to prove that. What was it? Sorry, I'm trying to remember.
I don't think I need to respond to anything. Like, if you're just gonna keep like placing burdens on me, like.
I mean, I already put the burdens on you. Even if I forget what burden I wanted to like repeat,
that's fine.
I want you to address you haven't like justified it yet, from what I remember.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't think I need to address those burdens, but we can move on. If I like lose that, then I can just lose the point.
For this point, I'll just say that I think that I've won because I've justified more of my proposition.
Why are you giving conclusions? What are you doing? I just want to progress to the debate.
I'm giving you my basis for my case.
That's fine. Like, I really don't care.
It doesn't have to.
Yeah, stop.
I'm not trying to have like a 2-hour debate with you, dude. I'm not.
Wait, I'm not. Wait, it doesn't need a 2-hour debate.
Wait, that's fine. I don't
actually. I'll tell you the time.
Yo, one person at a time. One person at a time.
We've only been debating for 20 minutes. Relax.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to do this.
I'm giving you an argument. I'm not concluding. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna let Haram talk for a second. I'm gonna let Haram talk for a second. All right.
I'm giving you an argument for this point. I'm not exactly concluding on this point. You can treat it as a conclusion if you want. I don't really care. I'm not concluding. So what I'm saying is I think that my position here, my actual belief here that the Black Flash always does amp you is likely true because it wasn't just that it is. It's like a likely case that always likely does amp you. Okay? So the reason why I think that was justified here is because my actual belief corresponded with the epistemic virtue of consistency, and the epistemic virtue of consistency is the virtue that we value above all else because it's consistent with the facts within our knowledge, and our knowledge is actually what we use to reason. So given that would actually be like why my thing is more justified, and it's not just consistent like through our knowledge in specific and like our reasoning off of that knowledge, but also just like other things beyond that we would actually attribute towards like consistency of the facts. If my thing is the most consistent of the facts, and obviously it's the best view. Secondarily, I placed like 4 burdens on Calamity that he didn't prove. This guy actually tried to say that like black flashes just aren't even like the thing that's related in the sentence whatsoever, even though there's literally the words black flashes here, and then what he says afterwards is, does he intend to climb up to my level afterwards, which is like retarded. And I don't know. I also brought up the quantitative and qualitative parsimony points. One, he'd be talking about a deviation in the data. So like
this is just
one, it would be I'm giving a summary. One
He
would
literally
be
said 40 minutes, and this dude's literally rambling. Wait, I'm
almost
getting
done.
Suki off
I'm almost
moderator.
done.
I'm not
Don't,
agreeing to
don't
this
worry. I'm
restart.
almost done. Hold on.
Wait.
Yeah. If you think it's not, hold on. If you think it's not like important whatsoever, I'm gonna give it like regardless. You can get a different
Fugi's like a
moderator.
complete
I'm just
retard.
gonna
I don't
say
want
it,
to
and then
moderate
you
anymore.
can say it's like.
Okay, bro.
Anyways,
Okay.
talking about the qualitative parsimony point, where if he's saying that there's a different mechanism for the Black Flash, then it always amping you and giving you more knowledge on how to apply your Kurt's energy. That's going to be an additional qualitative assumption. Okay, it's an additional quantitative assumption because you're assuming an additional occurrence. And obviously, if your belief is predicated upon more contingencies, then it's less likely. Thirdly, what the fuck was I about to say? It assumes a deviation in the data, and if there's data in reference to this, then data obviously does increase our credences towards a specific belief being true. So given that, if the data deviates, then that would be less likely unless there's data that actually does support the deviation, but there is not that data here, at least not off of what's been presented. So off of what has been presented, there's more of an evidential basis to say that my argument is probably going to be true.
Okay. Mortified. If you let him do that again, by the way, I'm just gonna end the debate. If you like, since like Fugi's like retarded, and just let him like give like a 5-minute like ramble session, that's fine. But Mortified, if you let him do that, I'm just
2
gonna like leave
minutes
it.
max.
Wait, so
Use
all right,
that
do you
time.
guys want to do time responses or
I
should we
don't wanna
just
give,
like
conclusions?
It's not. He didn't want.
He said it was
you're
a
a bitch,
summary,
but
not
like,
a
having
quantitative.
that,
bro, speed,
Wait,
shut
stop,
up.
speed.
You're interrupting the
Hold
debate.
on.
Please,
Can I speak? I'm sorry. No.
Yes,
no,
go ahead.
I'm just trying to help. Oh, he left. Sorry. Whatever. Okay.
I mean, yeah. If you let him give conclusions, I'm just gonna not debate him. But I mean, I mean, you can't give conclusions at the end. Like, I just don't want to give him like responses. But
Yeah, I understand. You said it wasn't a conclusion though.
if you can shout, dude. He said that, and then he just concluded. He's just retarded.
Well, and
it was more of a summary, so you'd see like what's
bro,
more.
fucking speed is calling me, bro. What the fuck, bro?
It was a conclusion. It was a summary, bro. Okay, whatever. You can progress.
I can what? What did you say at the end?
I said we can progress.
Okay. What do you want to move on to now?
Being able to Sukuna being above Gojo.
We can do that, but I think that one thing that I did say is that Black Flashes are a massive amp, by the way. So you want to talk about that?
I don't. That's like we literally just spoke about that, but
no, we spoke on if they like continuously amp you, not if they're like a massive amp. Because my whole point is like it's a big amp, so like if Gojo had said he's just gonna overpower Sukuna and kill him, and given that this debate is a hypothetical matchup where Gojo's already hit the Black Flash, it's probably the case that he's just gonna overpower and kill Sukuna.
you can justify it being like him like pushing it above his base form.
Gojo says that hold on. Gojo says that Yuji is way stronger after he hit some Black Flashes against Hanami. Gojo's hit 2 Black Flashes already in the fight against Sukuna, and this is like the version I'm using for like this hypothetical. So if hitting Black Flashes is like a massive amp, like if one person is saying I'm way stronger than I was before in reference to how well they perform in combat, that would probably mean like if I fought Mike Tyson and I went relative to him before, or I was losing to him before, that I would perform much better now to where I maybe even would stand a chance. Maybe if I was going relative before, I would be winning and I would have the edge now. Maybe if I was like winning, but I was relative before, I would just dominate Mike Tyson now. It's going to be something that's absolutely relevant to the battle. So given that, I just think like Gojo and Sukuna are so like closely matched across the board that the Black Flash is just going to tip the tide into Gojo's favor and give him the win. That's what I think.
Okay.
And
wait,
hold on. One last thing. I'm so sorry. I forgot to say this. Gojo's literally the strongest sorcerer like at the time, like by far. And this guy has like a much better understanding of strength than Yuji, and he understands much higher levels of strength than Yuji. So if he's saying that Yuji's way stronger, the reason why I brought that up earlier, it would be different if Yuji said it, which would already be like a pretty good thing. But Gojo's saying it, so I think that the expectations are going to be much larger. Because when you're a stronger person, you have greater expectations of power and understandings of power.
Wait a second. But yeah, I think that's fine. Like, Yuji can get way stronger. Like, I don't know why you're just. I don't think you can justify take a multiplier or whatever. Like, you could get like, Yuji can be like a 10, and the Black Flash like Amp gives you like a 1 point. He can give you like a 2, and then Gojo can be like 100, but like a 2 like wouldn't be like necessarily be relevant, like something like that. If your only justifier is Yuji, then I think that and all the rambling with to do with Yuji. I think that's fine under my interpretation. Him having loads of curse techniques or whatever, him having good good visuals and curse techniques understanding isn't doesn't. I don't know why this negates my Yuji point, but if you said anything else, I don't think I responded to. You can just clarify now if they're rambling.
I'm sorry, your mic was very quiet for DG point. I probably should have told you to repeat yourself earlier. I didn't really hear you. One more time, please. I won't do this again.
Yeah. Wait, am I louder now?
Yeah, a little bit, but I think it's fine. I don't know. I'll tell you if you
Just turn volume up.
I have you at max. That's why I said that.
Oh yeah. For the Yuji thing, what could be massive could just be in context Yuji. I don't see an issue with this. Yuji can be and then a black flash gives him a 5, and then Gojo can be a 500, and then a black flash give him a 5, and that doesn't mean he's relevantly above in combat. I don't see an issue with that. Him being the strongest sorcerer and all, if that's just a justifier for the Yuji thing, I think that's all encompassed in my response. But do you think I left it? If you think I left anything out in that, then you can just clarify. Ram SpongeBob.
In response to that, I think what you said was Yuji might receive an amp while being massively weaker than Hanami, and it won't actually be enough to tip the tides of favor towards him in the battle. But the thing is, I would disagree with that, because I wouldn't say that if someone is massively stronger before, that it would just be a completely insignificant thing. I think if you're going to say that you're massively stronger than before, you're way stronger before, that's going to be in reference to something else. And I know you said it's possible that it's something else. But again, I'm going to bring up that epistemic virtue of consistency. I don't think when people say that I'm way stronger than I was before, that they typically mean that they're just not relevant. What was your question?
I'm not interrupting you or anything, but Speed is spam DM calling me. If he does it again, I'm gonna fucking ban him mortified.
Yo, all right, Speed, that ass.
He's made 3 group chats with me.
I've already told you the same shit, Speed. I told you, if you call me again, I'm gonna fucking ban you for life, bro. The same. If you call Calamity or Haram, you're gonna be banned for life, bro. That ass. Yes, you did call me. I can show you the screenshot. I can expose you right now. You called 3 times, dumbass. Couldn't even hear the debate because of you. My bad for the recording, y'all. Continue. Speech at the fuck up.
Yeah, Haram, you can continue your point. Sorry for that.
Okay. Yeah, so TLDR, I just don't think that it's typical of colloquial usage of the term, and even not even just colloquial, but strict usage if you want to talk about formal language. So given that, I just don't think it matches the typical usage. If it doesn't match the typical usage, Gege Akutami is a person. If Gege Akutami is speaking, they're probably going to be speaking in the way that most people speak. So given that, if the way that most people speak would adhere to actual relevant increases in battle, to where they would have I don't know, like I said before, with all the analogies and everything, where I don't know, go relative before, you overpower the person now, a bunch of stuff like that, then I think in the case of Yuji, it's going to be a massive amp, and it's going to be much better given that Gojo said it.
Wait, that's this dude's Speed is just fucking pinging me. What is this? But yeah, I think if you tracked what I said before, I don't think that's I don't think our things mutually exclusive. But do you think in your initial point that it do you think I didn't respond to anything? Yeah. Oh yes, mortified. He's spam pinging my. I'm gonna ban him.
Bro, Speed, I don't know, why do you never learn your lesson, bro? Just act appropriately, man.
That's fine, but do you think I mistracked anything, Ram?
I mean, I don't
the response I gave before you said your point there. Now, do you think I didn't respond to anything?
I mean, I think you gave a response. I just gave a response now. I mean, why do you think what I said is inclusive of what you said? Because I'm arguing that your interpretation was less likely. If I missed something, if I have
no, that's fine. I'm just trying to clarify. Do you think that I missed anything? Whenever I said my Yuji point, do you think I missed anything in there? We can talk about that.
No, because you just directly said like, okay, it could just like not be that big of an increase. That's like directly addressing the point. I don't think it. I mean, you could talk about the dialogue as well, but I mean that doesn't really matter. I don't think you have to say like additional stuff for the dialogue. I think you already said enough.
Okay, that's fine. Are you saying it's like not likely or whatever? Like, see, and like talking colloquially or whatever, like it can be a relevant increase, like in regards to like UG. But trying to track that on the Gojo, I think it's still inclusive within the analogy, but yeah, I think you just disagree with that. I think you already gave response to that, but
I mean, I don't think that's inclusive because like if I'm arguing that like the Black Flash would make it so like you get a massive increase in battle to where if you like went relative before, you were losing before, you'd be winning, or just overpowering the person you went relative to before after receiving the Black Flash amplification and power, then I just don't really see like how you're going to say that that's inclusive with the idea that it's just not going to be a relevant increase. It's like directly dichotomous. It's directly like the opposition of your point.
that's fine. Yeah, I guess like what you're saying is like fine, but I don't think it's like. I mean, I don't think it's fine. I would say like disagree with that, but that's definitely a response. I think what you're saying is just like I think my initial response it kind of like covers whatever you're saying, but we can move on to the other point. Like Sukuna, you said like the Gojo like scales over Sukuna, but we can like get to that now.
Okay. So what? Okay. I'm not gonna give you a summary. I'm just dead ass gonna say like 10 words. Trust me. Like, I mean, I just wanna. Okay. Like. Okay. Bro, hit Black Flashes. Black Flashes amp you like always. This is what I think. They like likely always amp you. This is something that I got across. And whenever they amp you. Sorry. Oh my god. I speak enough. Oh, what the fuck.
Well,
Oh, that's disgusting. Oh my god. Yeah. So if hitting several Black Flashes, I mean, hitting multiple Black Flashes, sorry, results in you getting a massive amplification in your battle power. And I think given that, and the fact that they likely always amp you, which is like the 2 points I've found across, if Gojo and Sukuna are like relative across the board, which is what I'm going to argue during this debate, then I just think like if Gojo in this hypothetical has hit the 2 Black Flashes and he's fully recovered in the end of the fight when he's fighting Sukuna, I just think that he's likely just gonna no diff like true form Sukuna. I don't know about no diff. I'm not gonna say that. I just think he's gonna win. Sorry, likely gonna win.
that's fine. We can go into the Sukuna thing, but yeah, I think Sukuna is just like above Gojo while he's holding back. So I'm pretty sure you're aware of the statements. Gojo states he's holding back. Sukuna states himself he's holding back. And yeah, Gojo just admits he's stronger, and then we see he's like the range is way stronger as well. So. And then I'll track that like true form Sukuna is like way stronger than Megana, and there's like a direct correlation between like him and Gojo as well. So you want scans for anything, or do you know what I'm talking about?
I mean, what translation? Because that's probably going to be relevant for the debate. Can we agree to this? Like
I'm using TCB.
Can we do this?
Is that manga? Is that what is that manga? See?
That's on Weeb Central.
Oh yeah, same thing. What chapters are? Let me see.
236. That's when Cook dies.
Yeah, 236. Let me pull. I mean, if you need scans or anything, but I guess you probably know about it. He's like.
You want to just look at it because translations differ. I'll just send it.
I already have it up. Like I went through it, but he's like Sukuna wasn't able to give it his all. Sukuna in the fight states like he's not trying as hard as Gojo. It states that he died from someone stronger than him. Yeah, he just states like Sukuna's just stronger while he held back.
What he says in this one panel, which is what I think you're talking about. I'm not sure if I could have beaten him even if he didn't have Megumi's 10 shadows.
No.
Get us in response. Well, he's so strong. He made you admit that. He's not actually saying that. Like, okay, what panel are you talking about?
I'll post it in general and put in scans.
You want me to just check scans or check general? You just said you're going to post in scans.
Yeah, look at scans.
Because it's so much stronger. Yeah, I know he's saying that Sukuna is stronger. I think Gojo's kind of being a little dishonest. I think he's kind of being too hard on himself. I think he's giving Sukuna more leeway than he really should. I don't think he's giving like a fair assessment, an honest assessment. I can give you my basis for that.
If you're gonna be routing, I'm gonna be like just right to you, by the way. But yeah, you can go ahead.
No, I'm not ratting. Like, I'm glad. I think like Gojo's not being honest here. Like, I swear.
If we're gonna index this like feats or whatever, then we can get into that after.
So TLDR, I think Gojo and Sukuna both went all out because there's this narrative in the story that these guys are basically like satisfying each other because like these guys have been lonely throughout their entire lives because they're unrivaled in power. They're at the pinnacle of power, and it's lonely at the top because no one else is at the top because everyone's at the bottom. So given that, if everyone else is at the bottom while Gojo's at the top and Sukuna's also at the top, if Sukuna is saying stuff like "You cleared my skies, Gojo," and "You did well, Gojo. I will never forget you for as long as I live." If they're meant to like satisfy one another's loneliness, then I think it would just be completely against like their characters and the writing of the story for you to say that it's even like likely or even plausibly the case that like these guys held back whatsoever. And if they went all out, it seems like their cursed energy quality is comparable across the board. And basically they're almost equivalent in every single stat category. Do you want me to just say like what I think Gojo's superior in, or do you want to respond to that point?
I'll respond to that point. I already said like we can go into like different things, but I don't see like a reason why they can't be like satisfied. He can be like satisfying like while holding back or whatever. Like he can just be fighting like really really bum ass niggas, and then Gojo's able to press him, so he's satisfied that like the world's not like complete bombs. But even then, like Sukuna still just held back with like the Maharaga thing, like having to adopt the void. If he like didn't have to adopt the void, he would have just like murked him whenever Gojo's brain got fried. But with like he's like restraining himself to like some sort of like parameters or whatever. Say he's like nerfing himself to like like what like everyone else is like a 5 and like Sukuna's like at 150. But he's like nerfing himself to 100. He can still like satisfy that like 100 that 100 power level. Like that's not really like an inclusive thing.
I mean, that's possible, but I wouldn't say that that's inclusive because I think if your specific issue with why you're so lonely and why you're so miserable because of how powerful you are is because it's lonely at the top. If there's still a gap between you and another person, if you want to say the gap is very minuscule, if that person can't actually challenge you and isn't actually like relative to you, then even if you want to say like Gojo's like a 100 or Sukuna's a 100 and Gojo's a 95 or whatever, if you still get across the case that they're relative and they're both trying their hardest, then also holding back would also like widen the gap, so that seems counterintuitive. And I just think that it's likely the case that these guys are relative across the board and they went all out during their fight.
Okay, I think my argument still stands from like that response, but we can go into like the feat stuff because I think my like initial point like still stands on the response. We can go into
okay, we can. I guess I'll just give a little bit of more supplementary, like argumentative stuff for like this point, since I don't know if like you're like fully getting like why yours isn't inclusive.
No, I understand it, but I don't think. No, I like understand it, but I
think I could have done more. I think I should do more. I don't think I did a good job explaining. Sorry. For explanation, I'll just say that in the case of Gojo versus Sukuna, and pretty much anyone who's like suffering from loneliness in battle, loneliness is caused from a gap between you and another person. If the correlation is you being stronger than another person and you being lonely and you being miserable, the actual like, correlation would only increase if the gap is widened. So you would want the correlation between the two to decrease. Like you would want the loneliness to decrease as the power differential between you and another person decreases, meaning that you're going to be closer in power effort and far away in power.
Okay, I don't think my response still stands from that, but do you think Vito went all out versus Ryu? Is it the yes or no?
All out against Ryu.
It's like a yes or no.
Yeah.
Is there not?
No, doesn't go all out. No, I take that back. Doesn't go all out. I'll tell you why. Doesn't use his katana.
Wait, what chapter? Yeah, that's fine. What chapter is it?
For the beginning of the Universe Ryu fight?
The end of it.
The end of it, I believe it's 180, maybe 181 at worst. Not at worst, at most, sorry.
Yeah, so you think like you to held back, but then like there's still like a satisfying element to this. Like you like there can be people like holding back, but they can still be satisfied like by this like holding back fire or whatever. I don't think that that's like relevant. Like what you're saying, like, this example just kind of shows your this. You can
So-
say like your interpretation of narrative is like whatever, but then we have like an actual like story implication. But I still think my initial response still stands under that like narrative thing.
So are you saying that like in the case of like Yuta versus Ryu, Yuta is actually stronger than Ryu and he holds back, but he still satisfies Ryu, so therefore it can be inclusive of the case that like Sukuna can be stronger than Gojo, and he can hold back against Gojo and still be satisfied.
Yeah, there can be like agents that are like satisfied with like their opponent like holding back.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
possible, but the reason why I don't think it's probable in this case is because in the case of Yuta versus Ryu, Ryu's the person who's like been unrivaled and just struggling to find a worthy adversary during his lifetime, and now even after his lifetime when he's reincarnated. So if Yuta holds back and he still defeats him, he can get that satisfaction. He gets satisfaction. He gets satisfaction. Sorry, even after like he gets like killed. Well, not after he gets killed, but after the Yuta fight when he fights Sukuna and then he gets killed because finding someone who's strong gives him like that dessert. It gives him that thrill of battle because I think the obvious thing with Ryu is that like the guy doesn't like fighting people who are weak and he just fights too many weak people, so he gets sad.
I think it could just be the same for
he's
Sukuna,
stronger,
though.
then it helps.
Why is it different to Sukuna? Like he could just be fighting bomb people and get happy, and then fight someone strong and then get happy. And like I think it just be indexing to Sukuna.
Well, for one, it was because like Sukuna wasn't really defeated. For two, it's like
Like, what do you mean?
if he holds back and you want to make the case that like Sukuna at full power kind of gaps Gojo, then Gojo him like holding back wouldn't exactly like satisfy the loneliness aspect, because if he could just hold back and get a thrill in battle and not be lonely anymore, then he would do that against all of the weak opponents he fights or the opponents weaker than himself. But given that he does not do this and he still has this loneliness, I think that it's improbable to make the case that he would be satisfied. I think they both need to go all out to satisfy themselves.
Wait, they can be satisfied, but like he can bring him down to his level to have the thrill of battle, but still not be satisfied because the opponent's like way stronger. I don't see like a difference in this. Like I think this is literally just the same thing. Like he can do that like in fights, like lower himself to like the opponent, like he did with Megami, to like have a fun fight. But the gap like still be there. But he was like just lowering himself to like have this fun or like satisfaction.
So the thing is with that though, that doesn't even like match Sukuna's like earlier actions in the fight, in which the guy literally like puts his fingers together and he says, well, as he's going for a domain expansion, that's why he puts his fingers together, because he's using the hand signs for the domain expansions. Not expansions. He says to Gojo, "You were only the strongest because you were born in an era in which I wasn't around in. So much for being the strongest." He doesn't show extreme satisfaction like he does at the end of the fight, which you would expect to see from someone who's really satisfied. Like him saying, "You did well, Satoru Gojo. I'll never forget you for as long as I live." Or, "Satoru Gojo, you have cleared my skies." So given that, I just think that it's improbable for you to say that like Sukuna is just going to be satisfied by holding back and fighting someone who's way stronger than everyone else. And that also doesn't even talk about the loneliness correlation, because you probably would expect like there to be a greater correlation given that the loneliness is removed.
I mean, we get the loneliness thing like 2 pages after, but for that part,
sorry, I forgot to finish what I was saying. One last thing, 3 more words. TLDR, he tries to kill Gojo there.
More than 3 words.
Hold on. Actually, no. Hold on. No. I mean, I guess I could say this. He tries to kill Gojo there, and if like the satisfaction would also come from like fighting the much stronger opponent for longer, then they probably wouldn't try to kill Gojo there. He would just continue to try and fight him.
That's fine. He could do that, but I don't see like he can. His entire point of like killing Gojo or whatever, but the satisfaction thing could just be like a side like product fighting Gojo. But for the thing of him like a blight to like kill Gojo, you can still inflict killing blows by holding back. Like that's fine. But then like what we already talked about with the Ryu thing is like there's like fucking bums that he's fighting and he's not being satisfied by this. Like still like tracks onto this because he can just still not be satisfied by this person who's what's it called? Not be satisfied by like someone who's like just a bomb. And after whenever he's like proven himself not to like be a bomb in Sukune, they talk about like the solitude and like the love and whatever.
I mean, I think all of this stuff is like something I could even like. Sorry, I mean, all this stuff that you just said so far, I don't really think that any of them are like sufficient responses. To be honest, I think like everything I've said is still better on the epistemic virtue of consistency. So I would still say that like my argument has actually like been the superior one here. So I don't really have like much more I think I even need to say, if anything. I'm gonna move on to another point.
We can talk about performance. For why I think like. I mean,
so,
wait.
Okay, so we were just arguing about like if they're both going all out. So now you just want to talk about performance?
Oh wait, we can bring up the other. I'll bring up the other statement. I'm pretty sure like you're aware of it. It's like Sukuna is like saying that like he's like trying less than Gojo, but you were probably aware of that when we were making the point. But you were like he's stronger than him. Like you're rather the same as Steve. Like contentious to that.
I mean, my contention with that would just be that, like, if you're in a battle, like, why the fuck would you admit, like, inferiority or admit that you're struggling? Especially when you're talking about the two most, like, egotistical characters in the series. Obviously, one would say, like, oh, I'm not struggling as hard as you are or whatever, or talk shit, even if, like, what they're saying isn't actually true in reality. So I just don't see much of a basis to say that, like, this claim is going to be, like, a claim in which has, like, enough explanatory power for something of which we should just accept. I think that there's too much like skepticism of which can be like applied here, which is like reasonable skepticism that go against this point very heavily. Because you could easily say that there's like a probable case against this fact that these guys would probably lie here, and it's also expected that they would lie here if they're not actually like going all out.
By your own,
they're not actually going all out, but either cases would still be fine. It would be
by your own arguments from before, like you're literally trying to say like for like the first point, you're like, oh, the reader doesn't want to like confuse people, like they want to like show, like present like true things or whatever. Then you're just trying to like kind of like special plead here, saying like they might have some reason to lie here or whatever, like because they're in a fight or whatever. I think it's just kind of you like special pleading on this, like by your own like how you like account statements and stuff. Like you would just agree to the statement, and then the feats thing. I said that like we can like go into the feat stuff after.
Actually, what I argued earlier was that Gojo was lying, and this is another case in which I'm arguing that the characters were lying in the series. So it's more consistent with my argument rather than less consistent. I'm not cherry picking, actually. I'm just saying that I'm completely skeptical of this fact. So for you to say that this is a good case to say that Sukuna is stronger, or that he's like not trying as hard as Gojo, so he should be stronger, I don't think this really matters. And even if I were to grant that like actually that Sukuna isn't going all out, they would still probably be like close enough in power to where like him holding back is so insignificant to where if he were to be at full power, I think I would still be satisfied and the loneliness would not be much of an issue. But even then, I don't think that he's like holding back whatsoever. I think he's going at his full power.
Okay. I think you just saying like, oh, he could just possibly be lying here or whatever. Like we can track like this on like him being in battle or whatever. We have literally tracked that like hundreds of like fights in the series or whatever. Like any statement made, we could just like literally just put into question and all this. And then I think that the justifier is literally just like we had the statements like after he's like not trying, he's like holding back or whatever. So then you like, we can literally floor, right? Okay, so you can wait. Yeah.
No, there's a huge mic in the debate.
I'm literally just going like, if you want to be like this dishonest, like every statement could like possibly be a lie in a battle. This is just gonna be ratting, but that's not an actual point. But that's just like mega like ratting, and it's just like really dishonest. I would just kind of make every single statement in the series just kind of what they call it, just kind of like up for like grabs or whatever. Because you can just say, oh, they could just possibly be lying, which means we should disregard like every statement. By your own like how you account for statements and stuff, they would still be valid. He's trying to like convey some sort of like information or whatever.
So that's not actually something that isn't true whatsoever. Every single statement within the story is actually interpretable, and you saying that it's not actually a defeater whatsoever. You can interpret any single statement from any single story in any single manner of which you would like, but some interpretations seem to be less probable given like the things that are consistent with our knowledge and our epistemology. So that's why it wouldn't really work. Like something that's better for the epistemic virtue of consistency is just going to be something that we're going to value more whenever we're talking about stuff. You can apply my same skepticism to every single statement within the story. Sure, that's fine, but I can actually like give you a case for why I think some statements are likely to be in reference to this specific interpretation I have rather than other interpretations. Okay, whereas like you, I mean, you just don't have a reason as to why. Like you think that yours is probable, so you're just like, oh well, we can just apply the same skepticism to everything, and then it's just absurd because like how are we going to know? But that's not a debunk. You need to give me a reason to believe like in what you're saying if that's what you want to do for this debate, or you need to give like an audience or whatever a reason to believe in this because you don't actually justify the proposition whatsoever.
Something like most times you respond to it. Like my thing when I respond like still like sounds what I'm saying, but I think that reductio is just fine. But we can move on to like performances. Like I think Sukuna is a good performance as well.
He outperforms. I mean, you could show me, but Maguna literally just lost on screen, so this is like a stupid claim to make.
I don't think he lost and he beat him, but
he got literally beat up so
I don't think we actually need to
unless the World Cunning Slash literally off guarded Gojo and killed him.
I mean, that's fine. He would have lost. That's fine. Like he would have lost if he didn't win. Like of course, but
no. You just completely missed the actual substance of that point. I'm saying he was literally the worst fighter. The only reason why he won is because he off guarded Gojo. He's not more powerful. He doesn't perform better during this fight. Okay, if I randomly lay a landmine down and you beat the fuck out of me in hand to hand, and then you accidentally step on the landmine, we're not going to say that like I performed better because you stepped on the landmine that I placed. That's retarded. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't actually speak to the capabilities of Gojo as a fighter.
I think that's like completely different because like I think it would be I just don't think that's the same because like you're placing something that has like, its own like AP or like speed or whatever. You're placing it on something that has this like external to your body instead of him like throwing an ability that like he can just use it well. If you're thinking he can like throw landmines, he can like control the strength of landmines and like the speed and whatever, then that would be fine. But I still don't think this is like responsive to him like being above. Like he can still use his abilities that are able to like harm Gojo or whatever. But I don't think I need to get into what's it called. I don't think I need to get into the performances. I think it's already fine with like the strongest stuff. I can talk about like a connect, like true form.
We can talk about something. Can I respond to your landmine point real quick? Like how you would like criticize the landmine point?
Before I forget, I'm gonna send the scans for this. So that's like the.
Yeah, sure. No, don't worry. Send your scans, but before you like make a point, can I respond to the landmine point? Just send your scans, please.
Yeah, send them in sounds.
Okay. To respond to the landmine point, this guy basically just missed the entire point of the analogy. It's not to say that like the thing is external to the body or whatever, so it shouldn't really be valued. No, that has nothing to do with what I said, and the critique doesn't really work. Because the point of which I'm just saying for these specific analogy is that you just defeating someone in combat through like some dirty means, some trick or whatever, doesn't actually imply that you have better capabilities as a fighter in reference to attack bonus, speed, or durability, or your hacks or your abilities or whatever. Okay, if you want to say that like Maguna has a better case to win in that fight, sure, I agree. He literally did win, but it's like he's not a better fighter whenever you're talking about the other categories. Like I think Gojo takes nearly every single category against Maguna whenever you're talking about who's a better fighter. Besides like Gojo having like a personality issue which causes him to lose that fight.
That's okay. That's definitely a response, bro. But yeah, I'll like argue for this context. So like Miguel is like physically equal or above Gojo. Miguel like no cells is like a far weaker suit. Like his attacks like literally like bounce off like a way like weaker Sukuna than like a full power true form Sukuna. I think it just shows that like Gojo like his like stats wise or whatever. Gojo way below true form Sukuna. I think it still like adds up to Sukuna just being like way above. Okay, wait. When does
did you cut out or something? I don't. I feel like I didn't understand what you said. Like I don't know if it was like the audio, how you described it, or whatever. Is your argument here? Miguel is toe to toe with Gojo, comparable to him in combat power, and Miguel is just weaker than Gojo because he's going relative to a weakened Sukuna.
Yeah, it's like Sukuna's like majorly weakened versus Miguel. Miguel is like he's like punches is like combatively he's like equal to Gojo or he's like above him.
Okay, what if
he just like does literally?
What if Gojo just got stronger after Volume 0? Wouldn't that just be fine? Wouldn't that just like resolve the issue with the scaling? So therefore, you wouldn't actually have a case for why Sukuna is more powerful. And I think it's probably my argument as well.
I think we need some sort of like expected evidence or whatever like that. Like,
why do we need that?
Because then we can just start like people just got randomly stronger. Like I can say like Sukuna just like could have just got like blitz tiers and one shots level stronger like after the Gojo fight.
And that's the beauty of interpretation of manga. Anyways, it's the beauty of interpretation of any story. That's not reductive. Like, because it can make claims doesn't mean that like that actually is some like point in which we shouldn't believe in certain claims just because it's possible for you to make another claim. That means nothing.
I think that it would literally
use your rationale and the available facts of evidence and the body of evidence. And
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Some sort of body of evidence.
You're just saying that you can speculate and actually do anything. When you're speculating,
it's fine. Like we would show these some sort of body of evidence, or else we just like randomly assert people. Like we could just say like This person could have got a blitz and one shot level stronger, just for like literally no reason throughout the story. Like Sukuna after the Gojo fight could have just got like a blitz and one shot level stronger. And it's like
you
no
can
issue
say
with that.
that that's going to be improbable because we have reasons for why that doesn't make sense, but it's not as though.
Okay, what's reasons for this?
For this, I don't have to give you a reason. You're the one on the affirmative. Why are you trying to burn and flood me?
That's not burn and flooding, but why do you
What's
think
the
that?
reasons for this?
Like I could literally just say, but yeah, wait, what are the reasons for like the Miguel thing? Like why we don't need to do this, but we need to do this in like other cases. Like Sukuna getting like a blitz and one shot tier like stronger.
I could literally just ask you that same question. Like, we do this here, but why should we do this for Miguel? I can flip the question on to you. It doesn't do anything. You're the one on the affirmative. Give me a reason why I should believe in your case, your argument. I don't have to say anything here.
Well, I think you should flip that, but yeah, that's fine. I think I responded to you.
It's not a response.
I think I already like scaled my character. Do you want to scale or we can just leave it? Wait, mortify me in general, by the way.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
1 second, hold on.
I think my account is getting I think my account is getting like mass reported. I can't send any messages, and I didn't even get a notification from Discord, but I feel like I'm about to.
I can't send any messages either.
Hold on, Mortified. I'm just trying to finish up what I'm doing.
Wait,
can no one send messages?
Check if you can. I can't send messages either.
Oh, excuse me, I'm almost done. Let me just finish my debate real quick. Don't like turn it into a different subject, please. I'm still debating. Okay. Okay.
Wait, you just can't do it in general, by the way, Mortified. You can do it like anywhere else.
I mean, Calamity, if you want like additional substance, you could just say that it's like reasonably the case that he would like be much stronger here because of like the previous thing that I said there.
Can y'all excuse the interruption real quick? I'm so sorry. Speed apparently knows what's going on. If he trolls, I'm gonna ban him. But just Speed, what's happening? Said a Trojan? What's that?
Can you just text him, dude?
Nigga, this is important. No one can talk in general.
But I'm trying to talk.
Morphe, you can talk to me in DMs, but I don't want to interrupt this debate because Harama has an argument.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, Calamity, you could literally just say here that part of the reason why, like, it could be like feasible that like Gojo would become significantly stronger after here is that there's some retcons after Volume 0. So one of the facts within Volume 0, that being Gojo's power level, may get retconned. You could also talk about some things such as, no, I'm not going to say it's a retcon because it's actually like after the fact, so I'm going to disregard that claim. Another possible and plausible explanation could just be that in the case of Gojo, sorry, what was I about to say? He got much stronger because he was relative to Geto, and he needed to get stronger so that there would be a wide gap between him and other people so he could fulfill his job as a protector much better. Jujutsu Sorcerer's Strain, that seems to make sense. You could also talk about how, like, it wouldn't really make any sense for current Gojo to be that weak because there's like other evidence which would make it expected, like off of the previous things that I've said of the correlation of like loneliness, which would kind of like make it expected that like the guy wouldn't be at this power level otherwise. Like that data, because if you have like data in a specific way, like you see a bunch of like hot dogs which are red, you're gonna expect like most hot dogs to be red. There's just gonna be expectancies that are entailed off of data. So given that, like, if this data is present, then we should probably just say that it's also expected that like Gojo would get stronger from Volume 0 so that the Miguel thing wouldn't be too much of an issue. I mean, you could also just say, like, also just much more obviously, you could just say that like Miguel literally does nothing to satisfy Sukuna in any regard close to Gojo. So for you to say that Miguel is close to Gojo is like the stupidest thing ever because Sukuna is satisfied when he fights Gojo, but we just see nothing in regards of Miguel or anyone there.
Yeah, and I mean, because like he's like, yeah, that doesn't like respond to anything. It's like Sukuna. I'm just saying like Sukuna got way stronger, but Geto's like literally fucking dead. I don't know why he needs to like widen the gap or anything.
Wait,
I don't even know why he's like.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you too much. Did you say stronger after the Gojo fight? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, that's like the point. Like he got strong. Like he was either holding back, he like stopped holding back or whatever. Or he could have just like got stronger by like true form transformation or whatever. But like with like it's him not satisfying, it's not like relevant to the point. But
why? Wait, I got a question then.
Wait, let me respond to the whole thing.
Actually, yeah, you can respond. Sorry.
Yes. For like the him, what's it called? Geto's like literally dead, and I don't see like a reason why he has to widen his gap. Like people normally train doesn't mean everyone he trains. Sukuna doesn't like fucking train. That's like not the point. I don't. I mean, unless I'm missing anything, I think like there's like simple, concise things to kind of like encompass your like entire response.
I mean, how do you explain like Sukuna saying well, not Sukuna saying, but the author saying, well, the narrator in this case saying that like Sukuna is afraid for the first time in 1,000 years, but we get like no statement like this whatsoever in reference to Miguel or anything in which you're talking about like expected evidence. Don't you think it would be expected that like we would actually see that like Sukuna is stated by the narrator again or a character again, or by Sukuna himself through some signs of like sweating or whatever to imply that he's afraid of like Miguel or whoever. If
Wait,
like these guys can actually challenge him. Wait, no, not in reference to Miguel. I'm so sorry, I tripped up my argument. What I was trying to say is like, why would he be afraid of Gojo if he could just use his true form and then just no diff him?
Yeah, I was like so confused about the Miguel thing. I thought you were like really badly mistracking, but yeah, for the Gojo thing, because he's trying to like develop the world cutting slash. He could just be nervous that like plan's not going to work, or like the constraint that he's putting on himself like isn't going to be enough to like fight Gojo. If he could pop true form, that would kind of like negate him getting his. That could just be kind of negating him getting his world cutting slash, being impeding on his goal. But that still is like a counter under like this could still be a counter under like Sukuna like holding back.
What are you talking about? No, that would help it because the way that he was like trying to get the world cutting slash just for delaying the fight so that he could actually find a method to bypass the limitless technique. But if you're specifically saying in this case that, he could just like be afraid that like the plan is going to fail and everything here. Well, if you can just use his true form and just completely surpass Gojo in power level, which is sort of what your argument is entailing, because you're just saying like if he's in his true form, he's just like way stronger because like when he's severely nerfed in his true form, he's going relative to Miguel, so like at his full power in his true form, or like a higher power in his true form, he should just like no diff like Miguel and like Gojo, right? So given that, it just doesn't seem to make too much sense because why would he be afraid when he could literally just transform into his true form, completely gap Gojo on power, and then just delay it until he figures out the world cutting slash technique, in which he would still have access to the 10 shadows technique, so he could use Maharaga and delay the fight even more to try and figure out the world cutting slash technique.
Wait, I was typing. But for that thing, like that's fine. I don't see a reason. Like Sukuna, this could just be like some like plot-induced stupidity. That's fine. Sukuna is like just in his Megana form, like with Mahara. He already like devised his plan. I don't know why he would like swap his plan beforehand. Like I don't need to know like why he didn't decide to like pop in his like into his true form or whatever. Like he just didn't. Like it's just plot-induced stupidity. Like he's just scared. He could just be scared that his like plan's not gonna fail. Like what? Like my initial response. Like or it's just not
gonna fail. Or
no, his plan is gonna fail. Like he could just be scared his like plan's going to fail. Like he's not gonna be able to adapt to it. So I don't think Sukuna like expected to like lose to him. So like he could just be like coasting along, like trying to like get the what's it called, get like the world cutting slash, like holding back and stuff, and then like keep it in his true form, or whatever.
Well, if you're gonna argue for plot-induced stupidity, an issue with plot-induced stupidity as an argument would be that like you'd be arguing that the author is actually like messed up in the sense of like writing a character that would act sensibly. And as I said before, an author would obviously say that it makes more sense to interpret the story in a way that makes sense, and interpreting the story in a way that makes sense would be to interpret it that the author actually had like the common sense to write Sukuna to not just be a fucking idiot who's just like nerfing himself in fights for no good reason, not even just because like literally just for no reason. Like he could just like go all out and it would help his goals, and there's like every reason as to why he would, but he just chooses not to. That would just be like less likely in that regard, and it also doesn't explain anything better because my thing literally explains everything better, but it doesn't add the stupid proposition that like there is plot-induced stupidity in this specific instance. So also given that like that proposition is already like a little bit questionable and it isn't like justified too much.
I don't see.
Whereas under one last thing. I'm almost sorry. One last thing. In the case of my view has a bunch of more justified propositions, whereas your view does not have as much justified propositions. And views that have more justified propositions, all else equal, should be taken over views that don't have as much justified propositions. So there's a much better case to take my argument in regards to taking your argument instead.
Okay,
anyways,
I don't.
go ahead.
Yeah, I don't see any like justified propositions you presented. I don't know if I like my track or whatever, but I mean, what the fuck happened in general? But there's like loads of things you can just account for.
It's like the overall view, by the way, for the justified propositions. I'm done. Go ahead. I just wanted to explain that.
Yeah, like we could like obviously that's why we take debates like Bloodlust or whatever. Like some characters like don't perform to their max capability for like plot or whatever. Like why couldn't Gojo just instantly like pop a what's it called? Instantly pop like the maximum output purple. Why couldn't he instantly do the thing he did with his domains
Because
instead of
Sukuna would
I'm not
literally
done.
just stop him from doing it.
Again, well, he couldn't stop it doing it in the first place, but and that's like a stronger, more adapted Maharaga.
Because Gojo was stronger than Sukuna is my interpretation.
Okay, let me finish my thought first. Against like a stronger Maharaga versus like Sukuna, with like someone who's like able to like take hits like from Gojo and stuff, like he still failed to, like do this plan and he still like lost the domain clashes. Like that's why we like argue like with like Bloodlust did because like we like take the controller and like beat the shit out of them with it. Like they use all their capabilities, like don't be retarded or whatever. He could have just instantly went and like broke his domain, instantly popped like the maximum purple, instantly like changed the conditions to his domain to do this thing. Like there's loads of things that we can just chalk up the plot or whatever.
Okay. I don't want to go on too long because I want to have a 2-hour debate with you. It's already been 1 hour and 5 minutes, and the goal was to try and end this debate 20 minutes ago. So I'll just try and make this quicker. After this, I'm just gonna argue like TLDR, Gojo's curse technique is stronger. Do you disagree with that or no?
Are we gonna go into your scaling?
We're not going into that right now. I'm just gonna argue. I'm just gonna tell you it, and then I'm gonna like address this point real quickly. We're gonna be done on that, and then we can go home pretty much.
What was your question?
It's not a question. I'm just telling you for the next one. I'm just gonna say. Well, actually, I did ask you a question. My question being, do you agree that the limitless technique, Gojo's curse technique, is stronger than Shrine? Because Gojo just says it is in like the first domain clash.
He says on it loses, but that's like stronger in terms of what? Like how would you like index one curse technique being like stronger than another one?
One curse technique grants one user a better chance of defeating another user in combat, given that like we said that both users are completely equal in combat prowess in every single regard. But one curse technique has more opportunities because of more variety. The actual applications are better because you could do something which is stronger. Like for example, we could talk about the construction curse technique. You could manifest a true spear instead of like in reference to like Momo's technique, which literally just uses a fucking broom.
So it's like
I
kind of
don't think a broom is as strong as something with infinite AP. A true spear has infinite attack potency. I'm sure you obviously agree with that. So that's just what I mean. Like I define it as like a technique that would grant one, all else equal, a better chance to defeat another in combat.
I don't know if I agree to that. Like we know like Sukuna is like a he's like far more skilled than Gojo with his like with all of his techniques and stuff, and he's able to like he like slices the shit out of him and like beats him in domain clashes.
Wait, that's Sukuna. That's not his technique though. Like his skill with the technique is different from the technique isolated.
I mean I don't know isolated. I don't know about. I don't see you show that. Like I don't know why isolated is like stronger. Yeah, what the fuck happened to the server?
All right. Oh, I mean, I'm almost done. I guess I'll just show this really quickly because I really want to end this debate soon because I don't want to like force whoever's gonna watch this to take forever. I'm not like grabbing a judge necessarily. I just want someone to overlook the recording. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm just gonna go to chapter 225. I think that's when the initial domain clash happens. Let me grab it real quick. It does. Okay.
If you want to say even isolated or whatever, it could be stronger. I don't see like you could just be like a fucking dumbass like talk about. Yeah, speaking of like,
hold on. I just realized I was doing something stupid because even if it's stronger on its own, if the skill is inferior, then that kind of affects the combat between the two. So I guess I'll just argue for why, like, not only is it stronger, but Gojo's like a usage of it is better, so the end result is better. For one, I'm just gonna say that like when a character says something within the story, we typically do a better. This is in chapter 226.
Why is that? Wait, what are you using? Because on manga, see, it's like it's literally I don't know.
TCB scans.
Using TCB, okay.
Because I only wanted to use Viz
for translation.
236. But even the Viz translation supports what I'm saying because he says in terms of curse technique proficiency, I'm overwhelmingly stronger.
Why is this Gojo? Why is this Gojo saying it?
Because it's likely the case to be in reference to Gojo because the dialogue is on top of Gojo's face in some panels, and usually like.
But it's also over Sukuna's. It's also over Sukuna's. We like we see Sukuna smiling.
In
Yeah,
the middle panel?
it's literally okay. I think it's literally Sukuna beating him, saying he's like it's really Sukuna overpowering him, and then Sukuna's like smiling and stuff. It being over Gojo doesn't need to be him.
Wait, that's no. Hold on, no. For each respective panel, okay. Like I'm
Do you
glad.
have like the Raws?
Stuff.
Do you have the Raws for this?
No, I don't think that's gonna matter too much.
I mean, it would clear it up because one of them says limitless and one of them says about proficiency.
Okay, fucking whatever. I'll just say that it's like TCB is better than Viz usually. Viz literally said some retarded shit like Gojo literally said, not Gojo, but Geto literally, no, not Geto, but Kinjaku literally said that Gojo has cursed spirit manipulation in the Viz media translation, whereas the TCB translation never has a translation that's like that blatantly retarded. So generally,
we also have like translations.
There's literally like an entire like There's literally an entire Google Doc that Lightning, like an official translator, with like fucking hundreds of mistranslations are shown in the doc by this like really good translator who's really trusted. JK called Lightning. Like you can literally go for the Google document yourself. I just sent it in the scan chat. Like
wait, that's
I'm
fine.
telling you, TCB is better.
You agree with. This could just there's still stuff that you agree with. Like I don't see a reason why we like preference one over the other when there's still like cases that we agree with. This could just be like one of the cases. I'm just trying to find the Raws.
Like translation or something. Really what are you talking about? Prefer one over the other in reference to what?
I'm gonna try to find the Raws because this would just be different.
I'm asking you a question. Can you please answer my question?
Wait, what did you ask me?
The question was, prefer one over the other in reference to what? What was that in reference to when you said that sentence?
You preferred like that chapter to be better, like the one about Gojo, like being stronger or whatever. Not like Sukuna being stronger or whatever.
Okay, the first one is from TCB. Like, I prefer this over the Viz translation. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you used Manga C, which is like whatever over
236 because Lightning translated that to be more specific. That's why I used Viz for 236.
Wait, that's fine. Like unless we have the Raws, like two conflicting translations, I'm not going to agree to anything unless we get like the Raws for it.
I mean, you don't really have to agree to it because, like, literally, I'm just going to give you a probabilistic case for why one translation is probably better than the other typically, and if it's better typically, then it's probably better in this case. And if it's better in this case, then I'll just support my argument.
I mean, there's clearly some sort of exemplifying.
If it's limitless, it's probably Gojo. Anyways.
Wait, I'm just going to say there's clearly some sort of like exemplifying that is like things like excluded from what you're saying. So this could just be the case, and that's why I want to like get the Raws to clarify it.
Some things are exemplified. Like some things are excluded from like the TCB stuff.
Wait, future. When do you have like the Raws for JJK?
Wait, what do you mean by? Hold on, bro. What do you mean by
exclusion for this like more likely thing? Like this could just be one of them. That's why I'm trying to find the Raws.
Calamity. Go on mangafire.to.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it can be like and I don't know, like a fucking case in which the translation is fucked. It doesn't matter because I'm saying typically it's better. And also
you can say typically, it doesn't mean it's always the case. Like that's why I'm trying to find the Raws.
I'm not making a necessity argument though. I'm making a probabilistic argument, so that's just a category error.
It's just send me to a porn website.
Bro, you are on the wrong shit. I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link. Hold on.
This is
what chapter are you looking for? Calamity,
what
chapter are you looking for?
It's fine. I already got it. It's 225.
Okay.
Calamity, if you're not going to respond to my argument, I don't think you grabbing the Raws is going to do anything.
Wait, because I'm just going to translate this, right? Let's see.
I'm not fine if you're using ChatGPT or your own translation. I'm going to literally skepticize the shit out of that. I guarantee you it's going to be a waste of our time.
Okay. I'm going to do it anyway. Just like show you're being dishonest for the recording.
I'm not being dishonest. You're literally using ChatGPT and you're using a random fucking dictionary to try and translate a manga that probably uses casual usage of language in the Japanese language a bunch of times. And also translators understand context and how authors typically write. They don't just
I'm literally
go off the dictionary definition. So what I'm saying is you using ChatGPT is probably going to be a less accurate translation.
Yeah, I'm just going to mute you. That's fine. if you don't let me speak, like you can say whatever you want about that. Like if you just it's just gonna point out you being like really dishonest for the recording, but I don't really care. If you want to try to contend like ChatGPT
How's
or
that
whatever.
dishonesty? I've said this so many times to people. I don't trust ChatGPT in debates. Don't give me ChatGPT translations.
That's fine. I'm saying like we can end it right after send this because you want to be a retard. We find out.
I mean, if you like literally lose this point, then you basically just lose the whole debate anyways. So whatever. And no, I'm not gonna accept ChatGPT translations.
Dude, like we get it. So
really
just
end it here. You'll still
we get
lose. Okay. Thank you for taking an hour and fucking 10 minutes out of your day to debate me. This was a good debate. Anyways,
Where?
that's good.
What the fuck? Wait, I can't translate it 'cause it's not a full page. What's it?
Are you good, Calamity? What's happening?
What?
Can you not find the site, or did you say you found the site?
No, I have it, but it's not like the kanji. Like the way I extracted the kanji, it's not like giving me like a coherent like response.
Do you want a kanji extractor? Do
I
you
have a
one?
kanji extract. Wait,
Oh,
I'll
okay.
send it in chat. But the kanji, like the way I tried to extract it, it just literally didn't work. But I'll try it again.
Yeah, that's or maybe picking up the onomatopoeias, like like the whole things around the malevolent shrine and shit. You may have to screenshot like individually the text that you want, and then put it together.
I think there's that, but let me find it.
All right.
Why can't I send messages on Discord? What happened? I didn't even get a warning.
Someone like put a Trojan into the server. It just said, yeah, for like what I got for the translation, when it comes to technique performance, I'm overwhelmed.
Send your translation, by the way. Send it real quick.
You want like the whole breakdown of it or what?
Just take a screenshot of what you're looking at. Just send it to me, please.
Like screenshot of what? Like the translation or like the
ChatGPT response or whatever you're using to translate.
Calamity, did you want me to extract the kanji for you?
Oh no, I got it all.
No.
Okay.
Do not do all that extra stuff, please. Holy shit.
Let's like it all put together. I'm glad.
Did they just send like a malware link in chat in the old chat? Is that what they're talking about in chat right now?
How did they even do? Like, how does Speed even know that they did that?
Questions for later. Let's finish up this debate for now. Okay. So what do you have to say to respond? I don't accept ChatGPT. I've given you my skepticism for ChatGPT. If you'd like, I can repeat that. I'm not fine with that.
I already said this. Like, if you don't want to accept it, then that's fine. We can just end it.
Okay, we can end this debate here. Thank you for debating me. This was a good debate, GG's.
All right, now who wants the fucking beats?
That's
who wants the beats?
An hour and 20 minutes. I said it was gonna be 40. No.
Where is Mortified? How did Speed even know that it got like nuked like that?
He was the first person
end the
to tell me,
recording?
bro, the only people that were useful in this scenario were Trouble and Speed, so he gave them perms.